Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dain from the lovely streets of Brazil. We are going back to an ESB class that has been by far the most phenomenal so far. And I love this. Access classes just keep increasing and growing. And so welcome to the Tour of Consciousness. And what is our subject for today? Well, two things. First is, what is your kryptonite and what is your fuel? See, I tend to be like a rocket ship on legs. And I get so excited when I see people change. It really is the greatest gift that I get. But those people have to be willing to have the change. And you may be like me, like you love to see people get happier. You love to see people have a different sense of, oh my God, there's this greater possibility in the world. And what I found is my kryptonite tends to be when people aren't willing to change. And so what I've done so many times is if somebody I really wanted to change didn't, then what I would do is I would get frustrated. I would feel like it was my fault. I should have said or done something different. So how many people in your life do you feel like you should do or say something different that it's actually not gonna matter? And how much have you made them your kryptonite that takes away your superpowers, where you're happy, you're great, and then they come into your life and they bring their sort of misery with them, and you're like, I just want to go to sleep right now. I had superpowers 5 minutes ago, but I want to go to sleep right now. So let me just ask you, what is your kryptonite? What is the thing that you've decided is maybe your job in the world or your purpose, that when it doesn't get fulfilled, feels like it drains you? And for some of you, it's making people happy. For some of you, it's healing people. For some of you, it's, surviving the Uber ride back to the, no, that would be the superpower. All kinds of things that we do that we put on ourselves as though we're wrong if they don't get fulfilled. So what is that you've created as your kryptonite? Because what I learned about me is it's a decision that I made. It was just a choice. It was just a decision. And here I am living from that going, wait a minute, this messes me up far too often. So what is it that messes you up far too often that if you didn't allow you to mess it up anymore, would actually give you your superpower fuel? I was just checking out some kids on the street there. So everything that is times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And oftentimes, here's the way it works is you have superpower fuel for your rocket ship, you have kryptonite, and they tend to be reverse sides of the same coin. So if you look at the thing that seems to mess you up the most, usually it's where you have a power that you're not acknowledging, and you're feeling like instead of being a power, it's a weakness, or it's something that drags you down. So what is it? Oh, you know how we've said in Access for a very long time, what if everything you thought was a wrongness of you is actually a strongness of you? This applies here. So what is it that's actually the strongness of you, that because other people don't receive it, you believe it's a wrongness of you? Everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy it and create it, please. Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. One more time, what is it you have that's a strongness of you that because other people won't receive it, you've decided it's a wrongness of you? Everything that is times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pot, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. I hope this one's a contribution. And one of the other things that we do is we tend to have a lot of people who need things from us. And what'll happen is you'll be in a conversation with somebody and they have a need of you, but you don't realize it. You're not thinking from that place, and you're not thinking, oh, this person has a need of me. And what'll happen is after you get off the phone with them or after you're in person with them, you'll walk away with this weird, wonky feeling, and it'll feel like your universe is compressed. What you want to ask is, what need did they have of me that I did not fulfill? It's a great thing to have in your awareness. So everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive that, will you destroy it and create it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. One more time, when you get tanked by being around somebody and you feel like there's just no lightness, you want to ask, what is the need they have of me that I did not fulfill? Everything that is, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So, from lovely Sao Paolo, Brazil, where I'm going back to the afternoon of day 2 of a phenomenal ESB. I love Brazil. I love the people here. They've got this joy of living still. You can talk about anything in class and they're like, yes, let's go. Let's do this thing. What if you had some of that adventure too? So doing my best to share some of that adventuresome spirit with you and let you recognize that that's more true for you than you ever acknowledged. Maybe that's one of your superpowers and part of your rocket fuel. And what if you truly been you, with your uniqueness, your weirdness, your difference, your joy, your sense of space, your sense of ease with everything, your sense of possibilities, and your gratitude for being alive, and your gratitude for the world we live in, are the gift, the change, and the possibility this world requires. You are my beautiful friends. Cannot wait to meet you in person someday. Hope this one helped. Bye-bye.